I see such value in investing in young people or old people, whoever, whatever age group, people who have a genuine interest in either personal, to expand themselves personally, to grow personally, or to want to help others. I see such value into investing in their learning journey. So for me, that just brings joy to me. I just love investing in people, and I love seeing them grow and develop as well. Well, a counsellor has a very different role than a psychiatrist or psychologist. A counsellor's role is to come alongside that person as a person, to hear their story, to empower them from a counselling perspective and approach, especially the person-centered approach, is you believe that that person actually has the ability to solve their own issues, or at least the ability to walk through their own journey and do some solution brainstorming for their own problems. So you kind of come alongside the person and help them to see how they can actually walk their journey out themselves, instead of looking at the symptom and trying to just like fix it. So it's not a fix it kind of approach. It's more of a, how about you do this that way? Let's look at different options of how you can do that. What else can you think of that you can do to solve this issue? Not, what I think you should do that. So it's not about giving cheap advice, because none of us really know what someone else is going through. Even you might have been through a similar thing, but you don't really know what someone else is going through. So it is important to respect that and to give a person the tools that they can live their own life successfully. And so there is a difference, but there's value in both. So at a point where you as a counsellor feel that it is above your scope and your pay grade, if you say, like your qualifications to then deal with real illness, mental illness, schizophrenia, things like that, where medication's involved and very kind of, you've got to monitor the medication and the symptoms and stuff really closely. That's where you need an expert in the field to take care of that. In saying that, going through the journey yourself of healing and restoration, finding healing and restoration, finding some tools to help you cope, just teaches you resilience, and it teaches you also helps you to have compassion with people who are going through change themselves. So unless you've been through it and felt the stretch and the hurt of pushing through, you wouldn't encourage someone else. Doesn't mean that I can't, for instance, counsel someone that's going through something horrendous that I've never been through, like some natural disaster or something. I don't necessarily need to have been through that. I can still bring value to that person and hope to that person through helping them to find strength, helping them to find hope, helping them to find the resilience in themselves to be able to push through, find connections for them, helping them with a different perspective, whatever it is. You learn to look at a situation not just from black and white perspective, but with holistically giving someone hope. When it comes to approaching people, you have to be organic. You have to step in their shoes, and that's the skill we all have to learn. It's not something that comes naturally. And I would say that's probably one of the most valuable things I've learned studying counselling, is to learn vulnerability, to learn that I'm not always right, and to learn to step in the other person's shoes and to really listen to their story. And part of learning that is to become aware of my own barriers and my own biases, and that's the uncomfortable part of studying counselling and going on this journey. I don't think that you could ever get enough of practicing empathy responses and just really trying to get to the bottom of what someone's trying to say. There will never be enough of that kind of practicing, and I do understand that students get a little bit bored of it, but it's listening to what is going on underneath the surface. And just hearing the little things that they're not even saying, but they're saying sort of in a roundabout way. And that's a real art. And art takes time to develop. And it's a huge skill. Of all the skills of counselling, that's the most important skill. It's the skill to learn to listen. The diploma of counselling really is there's no money in the world that can buy the value that would add to your life. On a personal level, professional level, just in society, because the tools that it gives you and the ability to understand yourself better, to become aware of your own barriers, your own, things that are standing in the way of you to live life successfully to the best of your ability. Becoming aware of that is just the most valuable thing, because it just stretches us then to become a better human. And then therefore we can then be helping other people to be better humans as well, which helps our whole world, you know what I'm saying? So having a counselling diploma it's an incredible journey of self-discovery and self-awareness, and yeah, no money can buy that for you. I think a lot of the things that we teach is through modelling. So unless I'm willing to share some of my own journey, share some of my own mistakes or things that I'm not saying let's, stand completely vulnerable in front of each other without boundaries. I'm saying within boundaries we can share on a certain level of our own journey. And for me, it's so valuable, because the lessons I've learned through all my mistakes and falling up, down, and I believe that can't be wasted. Nobody's pain goes to waste. And what determines a character is not how we fall down and the mistake we make, but it's the ability to stand up from that mistake and move forward and learn your lessons, and then walk through the processes of things that that you've learned of how to live life successfully. And we need people, we need society, we need people to come alongside us. And I believe that's where counsellors have an extremely important role, in our society. It's just being there to listen to someone's story could be healing in itself, because people could come with a whole range of issues that they've been struggling with for years and years. But if there's someone willing to sit and hear their story and give them the respect and honor to listen to their story, to reflect it back, to make them feel heard, that changes a person. It gives them hope. It makes them feel that they're valuable. It speaks so much into their lives, just the fact that you're willing to hear and listen. Yeah, and it's also helping people to find connections, healthy connections. Looking at a person holistically, because you're not just, a boat floating your own boat. We need each other. Society need each other, and it's hard enough to do life, let alone do life on your own. And I guess it's just one of the very important things of counselling is to not just looking at the issue as a separate entity, but as how it's affecting every other area of that person's life and how it all interconnects. Because often if you fix some other things, or you help them to find coping mechanisms in other areas, automatically the problem becomes smaller or disappears, or becomes less important, because often you can just so zone in on an issue, but it just takes you to get a different perspective, where you go, hang on, is it really, how do I let my life fall apart just because there's one issue? Can I maybe look at it from a different angle? Is there maybe other things I can strengthen in my life so that this one thing doesn't become my be end of all, I don't fall apart just because of this one relationship that's fallen apart. Having a counselling diploma it's an incredible journey of self-discovery and self-awareness, and yeah, no money can buy that for you. So even if it doesn't lead to a career as such, it's a great personal investment, and you will never regret doing it. So if you're considering to do a diploma in counselling, this would be a huge investment in your life. You'll never look back if you're willing to do the journey, really learn, and wanting to go on a journey of self-discovery. This is an absolutely excellent way of doing it. It will not only benefit you, yourself personally, but it will benefit all the relationships in your life. It will also benefit you professionally because it will give you a great platform of which you can build for future, any area that you want to study in, whether it's mental health, community services. It gives you a fantastic base on which you can then make your choices. But it's something that you never ever regret, doing a counselling diploma.